everybody, it's Anita, and I am back to bring you another movie review. It's October. So in the essence of October, I've decided to do a couple of scary movies for you guys. We're going to start off this week with one video. Next week we'll have two. We'll have a current one. We'll have a throwback. And we'll do it like that. All scary movies, all for your pleasure. Okay, so Midsommar is what I am coming to review today. Midsommar is Ari Aster's sophomore film. Now, if you don't know who Ari Aster is, listen to me carefully. Before you watch Midsommar, before you watch Hereditary, I want you to go to YouTube and, you listening? There's something about the Johnsons on YouTube. It's a 30-minute short. It is disturbing. To his head, I suggest Hereditary as well. That was number 1 or 2 on my 2019 list. That was up there. I took my kids to go see that movie. Oh my God, I think I took each one of my kids, like my stepson, my sister, my stepdaughter. I mean, I was taking everybody. Like, y'all gotta see this movie. Y'all gotta see this movie. That movie blew my mind, except for the last 5 minutes. I didn't really care for that. But if you know Ari, then you know that he is about to go all the way left. All the way left. Whatever. Honey, when I tell you, you got to be prepared for Mr. Ari Aster. His mind is just a little cuckoo. Okay, so the synopsis is: a couple travels to Sweden to visit a rural hometown's fabled midsummer festival. What begins as an idyllic retreat quickly devolves into an increasingly violent and bizarre competition at the hands of a pagan cult. Now, this movie is polarizing. This movie is traumatizing. This movie is weird. Okay, so the movie sets up with a tragedy happening, and you know what? I want to do a spoiler for this because I have some thoughts. I really do have some thoughts. I feel like I have some thoughts. So if you want to come back for my Midsommar Explained, I want to break down some of the things that I think was not addressed, and I think they had the capabilities to go in there and address it, but I think they left it to lie under the surface and be very subliminal. And if you caught it, you caught it, and if you didn't, you didn't. And I think that is what happened in the case of Midsommar, because what happened in the beginning sets up our protagonists, Florence Pugh and Jack Reiner. Those are the two protagonists in the film. There are some other characters that I will not name, but they didn't really have much substance to them. So for them not to have names, it doesn't really matter. They're really like object pieces. We're just using them to tell the story. We don't know nothing about these people other than they're in school and they're taking a trip, and madness ensues. So if you're not familiar, if you've seen any pagan cult movies, we will have you going out of the movie because nothing really happens other than the tragedy that happens in the first couple of minutes or whatever. Nothing really happens until maybe with the cult, until like an hour in, 5 minutes. It was a while before something even happened with the cult. It was very, and I'll get into that in my cons of the movie, but it was very deliberate, and it was paced very slowly, and the cinematography. Let's start out with the good, shall we? The good is that Ari Aster, he has an eye behind that camera. When I tell you, he picks the best shots. all of the overhead, looking down at you can see the symbols and all of the patterns in the grass with the people and stuff like that. And with Hereditary was really really dark, and it was scary. And this was really really light. Like if you looked at the trailer and you looked at how it's portrayed, all you see is all the people in white. And what do you think about people in white? Purity and innocence and all of that. But baby, it was none of that. It was none of that. It was none of that. So anyway, yeah, it was traumatic. Like my first viewing, it took me my second and third viewing at home where I could watch the subtitles and I could really like pause and zoom in on what I was missing and looking. And you guys, you make sure you look at the wall art that they show you in the pagan hut, wherever they are. They have all of these markings on the wall. The markings on the wall tell you a story. So watch them. You'll see. But when I left out
the movie, I was like, what the heck did I just watch? Like, I was like, I think everybody was sitting in the theater was just looking like, okay.
Yeah. So Ari Aster, he's a master director. When I tell you, the only thing is that I felt like there was something that he could have tied in a little bit more, so people wouldn't think that the beginning of the movie was useless, and it really wasn't. It was a catalyst that really propelled the movie forward, but it was very understated, and you'll have to pick up on some cues with the other players and the other people, the people who invited the people. You just have to listen. You have to listen and look. You got to see how they react to things and see how they trying to like smooth things over. You just really have to watch. You got to watch. So that's what I'm saying. So second and third viewing for me really brought some things to the forefront. And I was like, oh, okay. The color grading was great. I mean, everything, the style. You know, we had this one shot where she was going into her bathroom in her apartment, and then they showed the overhead shot, and then she was walking into the airplane bathroom. And I thought that was brilliant. Like we were just transported into a different place. Like, yeah, we're going to Sweden. We're on our way. So I was just like, okay, I like that. Like I said, his style, his choice, love it. I mean, it's so good. It's so good. And what I like about him is that, like I said, is understated. Like he don't treat his people, his viewers, like they're dumb. He lays it out there. And if you ever learn anything in film school or any kind of education about film school, if whatever the camera zooms on, like if somebody is out of frame and then we're still looking at that, you better pay attention to that. You better pay attention, because that is a clue to where the story is going. So, yeah. So anyway, I really thought, I mean, after watching it a couple of times, I kind of liked it. I mean, not liked it, but I dug it. I dug it for what it was, but you have to get the twist. That's why I have to do it and explain, because on second and third viewing, you will see what is going on. And I totally didn't get it the first time. I totally didn't get it, but it does make sense. And yeah, it made for a good repeat viewing. And like I said, it was really, really well done, well made. The cons, the pacing, oh my God, I felt every 2.5 minutes of that movie. It was long. It was 2 hours and 28 minutes, and you felt every bit of it. But the payoff with the violence and the gore and the sex of it all, it was just so gross. Like, it was gross. Like, it was payoff in the movie. It was gross. You came in and they said it's a horror. Now we got some horror for you. Now we're gonna show you some horror. but it wasn't like a scary movie. It was a horrific movie. There was some horrific themes in the movie, but I mean, it wasn't like jump scares. I mean, it was just like the wow moment in Hereditary. There is a moment, a clear moment. You be like,
Yeah, like that.
honey, you be watching Ari Aster stuff and you just don't be ready. You just don't be ready. Nope, you just don't be ready. But overall, I give this movie A minus. A minus, yes. I enjoyed it. I think Ari Aster has a bright and promising future. I can't wait to see his next projects. He is twisted. He's twisted. But all the same, he tells good stories and good original stories. Well, you know what? Midsommar cannot be original because it parallels another movie, The Wicker Man, too much. But Hereditary was spot on. And something about the Johnsons. Watch it at your own risk. But anyway, that's my review of Midsommar. Come back for my End and Explain, where I explain to you what actually happened with the tragedy and the ending of the movie and how it all correlates with the movie. So come back and I will hopefully get that to you this weekend while it's still fresh on my brain. All right. Bye.